Hey guys, my name is Christy and this is my Crafty Country. Welcome back. If you haven't already done so, make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you get notified every time I upload a video. Today's video is part of a collaboration that we are doing, and it is called the Napkin Exchange Challenge, and it is hosted by Sarah at Sunflowers and DIYing, and it is co-hosted by Christine over at DIY Craftaholic. My napkins were sent to me by Holly over at Lamb Living, and I will link all of the channels below, Holly, Christine, and Sarah, and I will also link the playlist in the description box below. So here's my card from Holly. It says, "Hi Christy, ho ho ho, have lots of holly jolly fun with these napkins. I look forward to seeing your video, Holly." So let's jump right in and see what kind of cute napkins Holly has sent to me, and I absolutely love the card too. So first she sent me these snowflake let it snow napkins, and I absolutely love these. These small ones actually have on the back side and on 3 of the 4 sides of that little napkin, they have that little let it snow corner, and that is actually what I'm going to be using the most in this video. Then we have these little camper napkins, some of the red Christmas trucks. We have some Santa Claus napkins. Some of these gold flowers, more of a yellowish, and I thought those would look good with these gold striped napkins. Some of the, more of the picnic tablecloth looking red check napkins, and these are my favorites, the peppermint circle napkins. So for DIY number 1, I'm going to be using a Dollar Tree soap dish tray, and in this video I end up using the soap dish, the soap dispenser, and the toothbrush holder. So all I do is I separate my napkin to where it's 1 ply, and then I cut off a little bit more than I'm going to need. That way I have some playroom with this, and I just want to corner it off using that red trim and the let it snow section. Now, actually, I use just this 1 napkin for all 4 of these DIYs. So all I do is I clean my surface and use some Mod Podge just to tack it down. And I tack down the top and then move to the bottom and then just use a good coat of Mod Podge over the top to seal it down. And then I let it dry before I sand off my excess corners. And then use some dishwasher safe Mod Podge to lock it in, and I think I end up doing like 3 or 4 coats of the dishwasher safe Mod Podge. And the only reason I used that type over the top was because I thought, I'm not really sure about Mod Podge, but I thought the dishwasher safe stuff would be more waterproof. I don't know how waterproof the regular Mod Podge actually is. For DIY number 2, I'm going to be doing the same steps on the side of this Dollar Tree toothbrush and toothpaste holder. So I'm just going to do some Mod Podge on the base and then corner it off with that red trim and do a thick coat over top of that before I let it dry, sand off my edges, and then use my dishwasher safe Mod Podge over top. And like I said, I did at least 2 coats. I think I did 3 coats over top of each of these pieces just to lock it in, and I paid special attention to those edges, that way it would not peel up. For DIY number 3, I'm going to be using the 3rd and final corner of this red trim and the let it snow on this napkin, and just corner it off and repeat the same steps that I did on DIY number 1 and number 2. Just be careful to coat those edges at the final piece at the final of the piece, I'm sorry. That way you won't get the napkin peeling off. DIY number 4 is my final one and my most favorite. So I used some of these little tins that I got off Amazon. They came in a pack of 12. And then I also used some wicks that I ordered off Amazon, and I will link all of that in the description box below. But the wicks actually came in a kit that had a bunch of them in it, and it had these little tools. So the first thing I need to do is get one of the wicks and put it down into this tube, and it will help me use this adhesive dot and push it down to the bottom of the tin. So I just get one of the double-sided adhesive dots and stick it to the bottom of my wick, and then peel off the other side of the plastic before pushing it down into the center of my tin. Now this just holds my wick in place when I pour the wax in, and once I get that stuck down in there really good, I can pull that tube off and that can is ready to go. So I just repeated that step for all 12 of my tins, and then I melted down some of these Dollar Tree white pillar candles and added in some of my peppermint oil, and I did like 2 droppers full into each of these before I stirred the wax around, kind of get the oil to blend in with it before I poured them into each tin. When pouring the wax in, be very careful and you have a hot pad on, like use an oven mitt, and pour it in very slowly. That way you do not overfill it. I did forget to mention, when you heat up your candles in your pan, put them in when the water's cold and heat them slowly over a medium heat. That way they heat up slowly and you don't get as many air bubbles in your candles. If you do get any air bubbles, just use like a hairdryer or a heat gun, kind of melt it down, and it will fill itself in. Now here you see me using these like popsicle sticks that I had, that I made these. I used some hot glue and had them gapped out a little bit, just so it would hold the wick right in place. And then once the candle wax started to go a little cloudy, I put in some of the crushed peppermint that I had gotten off Amazon, that is also linked below. But I waited till it got cloudy, that way the mint would sit on top. One other little step I forgot to mention is make sure you don't fill these too full, because if you do, your lids will not fit down in it. Now for the top, I wanted to make it a little extra special and Christmassy, so I put some Mod Podge on the top of the lid, and then found the snowflake I wanted to use on here, and Mod Podge this napkin to the top of the tin. Now once I got it where I wanted it, I just put a layer over top of Mod Podge and then sanded off the edges. I actually used my lighter and burnt off the edges, but then I didn't like that burnt look, so I took my sanding stone and cleaned off the excess napkin on the edges, and then Mod Podged over it again to seal down the edges so they wouldn't peel up. I really hope you guys enjoyed all these DIYs. If you did, let me know in the comments below which one was your favorite. I want to thank again Sarah and Christine for letting me be part of this challenge, and make sure before you leave you hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you get notified every time I upload a video. And don't forget to go check out that playlist that is in the comments below.